Hello, welcome to the West Ham Way YouTube. Myself, Mark Carlaw, where we've got Jamie SEGAL, who's going to be joining us for a bit of an exclusive today. Jamie, before we get into the football, which I'm, dreading talking about, but how are you, mate? You had a good summer so far?
Yeah, all good. The weather's been unreal. Maybe a bit too hot at times, but he's got to deal with it. Yeah, no, I've been good. How you been?
Yeah, been good, mate. Been good. I mean, apart from the football aside, it's been good. I can't quite get over this
Yeah,
summer. Do you know what I mean? It's just like just never-ending sunshine and hot weather. Do you know what I mean? It's
I
brilliant. I
know.
can't
And
complain at all.
we need a bit of water, like a bit of rain or something, because every time I go around, the ground is just brown everywhere you go.
I
It just
know.
needs a bit of moisture, but
It does, but yeah, I can't complain, mate. I mean, it's one of those things like it kind of reminds me of summers when I was a kid. Do you know what I mean? Like I kind of like remember those really long hot summers and that. So I'm
yeah,
enjoying it, mate. I can't complain, and I've just got back from abroad
yeah,
as well,
no,
which
exactly.
is good. Mate, we've got to get onto the football, obviously. It's been a tough start of the season for West Ham. I mean, I don't want to go into analysing every match, but what's your overall feelings? Do you think this is a blip or something we should be very worried about?
I see. The thing is, I really hope it's a blip, but the way things are going and all these new signings, I don't. Moyes, he doesn't fancy giving him a chance to start all the time. He always has to like, he said something about Cornet the other day. He has to like play him into the Premier League or something, but
Mm,
he's played for Burnley in the Premier League, so I don't really get it. But no, I do hope it's a blip. And obviously Villa on Sunday or Viborg tomorrow, we should be all right there. But Villa on Sunday is the game that will sort of
mm,
determine what's going to happen. I think because 4 losses in a row, it's tough in it to come back from that, especially we haven't even scored yet either. But I
yeah.
really hope it's a blip, Mark. I really do.
Yeah, I agree, mate. I mean, I think it's one of those, isn't it? Like you don't want to get too carried away with it. I am worried. I think we all are a little bit worried, but at the same time, you kind
Yeah,
of think to yourself, look, if we could get a result for tomorrow night, get ourselves this group stage is confirmed. I think in Europe, give everyone a bit of a lift, and then on top of that, if we go to Villa Park, like you say on Sunday, get a result. Suddenly, the landscape changes very quickly, and all of a
oh, of
sudden,
course.
our towers will be up, and we'll be buzzing for Tottenham. But at the moment, we just don't like winning a game at the moment, do we? I mean, if we go back to the beginning, then Man City, fair enough. I mean, I don't think anyone really expected us to win that game.
Yeah,
It wasn't. I wouldn't say a disappointing performance. It was just a very tough game. I don't think we need to dwell on it. But the Forest game, do you think it was a day that was very unlucky for us, or would you say that? Well, no,
yeah.
we probably got what we deserved.
It was one of them. Obviously, being there as well. The amount, I mean, I'm sure everyone watched on TV as well. But the amount of
Mm,
chances we had, we were so unlucky. I was saying to my mate next to me, I was like, listen,
mm.
this ain't going to be our day today. We've hit the crossbar a few times, missed the penalty, goal ruled out for offside, or the foul, sorry, on Antonio. And I was just
Yeah,
like, this ain't our day today at all. Like we played all right, but
yeah,
I don't know. Forest, obviously, they got lucky with that goal as well. That Awani, obviously Lingard had his say in that little goal as well. But
yeah.
obviously, City as well was annoying because we had a good first 10 minutes, didn't we? And then after that, it
Mm,
just sort of it just went all over the place. But Forest, well, we was really unlucky that day. Really, really were. Um,
mm.
and then obviously Brighton, we just can't beat Brighton anyway. So it's just one of them things, isn't it?
Honestly, mate. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I agree. I think the Forest game, ultimately, I think we were unlucky. The chances we had, I mean, we should have tucked at least a couple of goals away that day. And I don't
Yeah,
even think Forest played that well, to be honest. I mean, they were all banging the drum afterwards. And fair play to them, they just been promoted, so they would be excited and pleased a bit. But I
yeah,
think they were a little bit, very fortunate to get what they got. But yeah, Brighton was worrying for me. I thought we were quite passive the whole time. We didn't really get going. And like you just said about City, it's like we have a little bit of a theme going and we start off quite well and then we sort of tail off quite fast.
yeah,
And I thought that was the case against Brighton. We started the first 10 minutes. I thought, well, we're up for this. We're playing well. And that was about it, really. Especially once they scored, we were well out of the game. And I never really felt like we were going to score, have a chance, really. I don't really remember a time, really, we were really on top when Brighton, you know what I mean, and causing their defence
no,
many problems, you know what I mean?
it's just a shame because I don't think I couldn't think of anyone that sort of played well that day either. I'm trying to
Mm,
think, but like I just can't think. The whole team just wasn't great. Rice wasn't great. So I think Suchek's performances hinder Rice's performances as well in that
yeah.
midfield. Um, yeah, I can't think of anyone who actually had a good game. They all played terrible. I can't lie. I just
Before
don't
we
know what
get
it
on to
is.
Declan Rice, mate, because you mentioned Rice there. Before we get on to him,
Yeah,
though, I wanted to ask you about David Moyes. So David Moyes has cut a bit of a frustrated figure, and I think he's been looked a bit frustrated for a little while. West Ham. I don't really know what the real issues are. I think he's just frustrated getting players in. But what did you make of his comments after the game? One, that he seemed quite fine about it. He didn't seem overly stressed. He just seemed to suggest, no, it's not a problem. We'll be fine, and don't worry about it. But one I was going to mention to you. Did you see his comments about Flynn Downs at all?
um, I didn't see it personally, but I've heard a lot of rumours saying that he just don't particularly like him or something. Was that
Yeah, he
sort of what
basically
he
called
said?
him out and just said that he wasn't impressed and needs to do more. And
Hmm.
do you think that's harsh? What's your take on this whole down situation?
Yeah, I think that's proper rush. Obviously, he's a West Ham boy through and through, isn't he? I
Mm,
thought he had a decent pre-season. I know at Ipswich he done his job well, didn't he?
he did, yeah.
It's just a shame because he's never going to get the chance. Moyes loves Soucek. He loves him
Mm,
to bits, doesn't he? And he's never going to drop him for Flynn Downs. Unfortunately, it's a shame because obviously he's got the quality there, Flynn Downs. But I
mm.
don't know. I don't think Moyes trusts him. It could be another Alex Krul situation. I mean, I hope not. But it's a shame really because he's there and he's our player and he would never get played. Unfortunately, it's a shame.
Yeah, it's
I
a bit
don't
of a
know.
trend, isn't it, with Moyes? You do feel like he
Yeah,
does have players that he doesn't rate, and then he seems to call out quite regularly. I mean, we've had it
but
with
then
Ben Rama.
why buy him in the first place though?
Well,
That's
this
what I
is
don't
the
get.
argument. I think there's a lot of talk that possibly that the signing was actually led by more Warburton than Moyes.
Right.
Now,
Okay.
how true this is, I don't know. I don't know whether that's really the case. I'd be surprised if Moyes would allow that to happen. But it's a strange one, the whole scenario. I can't quite put my finger on it, but it's quite worrying. It does seem like there's a little bit of discontent behind the scenes, and I don't know. I think it
Yeah.
needs, we definitely need to settle down. But I mean, at the same time, we have got a lot of new arrivals, so you'd kind of imagine there would be naturally a little bit of discontent, a little bit of upheaval because there's a lot of big characters gone. So before we actually speak about Declan, then, I mean, what do you think in terms of the impact this had, having losing Mark Noble as a character? Do you think that's having
Oh
quite
yeah,
a
yeah,
big
yeah.
impact in the dressing room?
100%. You can tell like behind the scenes, Mark Noble was just he was just a man, wasn't he? Like he kept everyone together.
Mm,
What's the word? Morale was like always high with Noble around the club. Like even just not just in the changing room and the dressing room, like just around the club, just with everything.
yeah.
You could just tell he has a massive impact. And losing him, and Rice is trying to obviously do, do what Noble did. And
Mm,
unfortunately, obviously he's only young and he hasn't got the. I say he ain't got the brain. He has got the brain to do it, but
yeah.
Noble's just that. You know what I'm trying to say. Like,
Yeah, no, I know
yeah,
what you're
I just
saying. He's got that
yeah,
maturity, isn't he? I think,
yeah, exactly,
and Rice is still very. We do forget with Rice. I think that he's still a young lad, and he's still learning. He's still learning. Like he's well in that
exactly.
phase. I think just because he's got such good, so much ability and the way he's progressed so fast, I think people sort of forget that and think that he's this sort of established, you know, player that's almost in his 30s, come to the end of his career kind of thing, and should know the league in and out. But really, he's
Yeah,
still a young lad himself. So it's a lot of pressure for him. And I think that got to Rice because I don't know if you saw his interview after the game on Sunday, but
yeah,
effectively he kind of called out the fans a little bit, and because I think one of his statements was, well, it's disappointing hearing the fans boo. We're not Man City, you know what I mean? So we obviously want to win, but effectively saying that we're all expecting a bit too much of them, which I think was a bit. I don't think it was the right comment
nah,
from fans because we shouldn't
yeah,
be accepting 3 defeats on the spin.
no. Well, especially in the way that we've lost all them games as well. I mean, maybe
Mm,
unlucky at Forest, but the Brighton game, it was terrible. And to call us out like that, I don't think. I mean, I do get where he's trying. I do get where he's coming from, but the way it come across, obviously, it wasn't great.
mm,
Um, But yeah, no, obviously, like last season, we sort of expect performances like what we had last season. Do you know what I mean? Like we
yeah.
sort of expect it, but obviously we are West Ham. Like this is what happens. But yeah, no,
Yeah.
that comment was a bit strange. I thought.
Yeah, I agree. It was a bit odd, and I think, maybe that's like what we were just saying. I think maybe that's the inexperience of him,
Yeah.
maybe immaturity at times has crept in a little bit there, where really he hasn't thought about his answer very well, and he's probably. I mean, like let's be honest, he's walking off the pitch angry. He's pissed off with the performance, pissed off with where we are in the league, and like we all are. And let's be honest, if someone shoved a camera in your face as you're walking off the pitch and say how you feel, you're hardly going to answer
Oh yeah.
probably very clever and wise. You're probably going to let your emotions spill out a little bit. And I think that's probably what happened there. But yeah, it was a bit of a shame. But for me personally, yeah, it is a really bad start. There is a slight worry there. But then at the same time, I don't want to get too carried away with it because I kind of feel like we have got a good side there.
Mm,
And I don't think it would take much to turn it around. I think a couple of decent results and suddenly we'll be flying. I think that's
exactly.
what we need
No, I
now.
agree. I
Do you know what I
agree.
mean? So,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm surprised I'm not seeing you out in Denmark, by the way, mate. What are you doing?
Oh yeah.
What
No.
are you
So
doing in your
no.
garden?
Basically, no. Basically, what happened? So obviously, when we got Viborg, I knew they'd beat that Faroe Island team. Was it Torshavn or something?
Mm,
I was just slow to book the flights. I was way too slow. I was looking at it. I was like, oh, £60 return, that'll do. I left it for like a couple of hours, and then it goes like £15 to get there, and then about £300 back. And I was like, I'm not doing that. Plus, on top of
no.
that, you've got because obviously all the airports are like 60 miles away, aren't they? You've got
Yeah, yeah, that's
Aarhus,
it.
Billund, and Aalborg, I believe, all like
Right.
60 miles away from Viborg. So then you've got to get a train, you've got to get taxis. It just worked out too expensive. I saved my money for the group stages, I think.
Bloody armchair fan, mate, you are these days. No, I mean,
Terrible,
it's good, mate.
really.
It's great to see you. Because we planned this a little while ago, and I remember it sort of hit me. I was sort of, I'm speaking to Jamie today, and then I thought he's not going to be here. He'll be in the case. He's obviously caught me around here. He's going to be out, and I'll go see a picture of you in a minute in a bar somewhere. You know what I mean? Giving it plenty. But no, I
No,
know.
no, yeah, no, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it, unfortunately.
So obviously, before tomorrow, big game, mate. What are you thinking? Are we going with a 2-goal cushion? So are you thinking West Ham should get
Yeah.
the job done quite comfortably?
Oh, I should hope so, mate. I should hope so. I think an easy, nice little 2-0 win. I know their fans will be proper up for it. It's their probably biggest
Mm,
game in their history. I can't lie.
yeah.
But no, I think we should win comfortably. I mean, it'd be of a shock if we don't. We
Mm,
are going there with a 2-goal lead as well. Maybe a chance to give the new boys a little run out, all of them, just to see what they can do.
yeah.
I don't think we should be worrying about the match tomorrow, if I'm honest. But you never know. You never know.
Yeah, I don't want to get too cocky with it, but I'd like to think, especially with being 2 goals up as well, you just
Yeah.
think, we should just see the job out, get it done. And that, let's be honest, that'll be a big lift for everyone to know we've got group stage all confirmed and we can start looking
Oh,
forward.
exactly.
I mean, that's always been a worry for me, this playoff. I don't know about you, but all summer I've been thinking we're going to cock this up. Like, you just know we're going to cock it up. So just want
Yeah.
to get
No,
through
we'll be all
tomorrow,
right. Yeah. Exactly.
New
Exactly. I
signings then,
mean, yeah.
mate. What are
Yes.
your thoughts on new signs? Loads of new arrivals. I think we've got 7 in so far. Looks like we're probably going to get a
Yeah.
couple more in as well before the end of the week, or before the end of the window, should I say, closes. What's your thoughts so far? You happy with the business you've seen so far from West Ham?
Yeah, I think we've done amazing. I think. Obviously we've got rid of the deadwood that we didn't need,
Mm,
and we've brought in, I think, better players than what we had. So it's great. I
yeah.
think Skamaka. I know he's only played a little bit, but he just looks unreal on the ball. His movement off the ball, his passes,
Mm.
in the air as well. He's very good. I just think he's what we need. I think. Was it in his interview like he had with that is it that Italian newspaper, I
Yeah,
believe?
yeah, yeah, I know what you mean. The Italian
Yeah,
paper. Yeah,
and
yeah.
he was talking about like he wants to be like what Di Canio was, and I was like, that's all we want to hear, really.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
he said something along them lines. But yeah, Cornet, I'm happy with. I knew he weren't going to stay at Burnley. He's
Mm,
a proper direct runner. He's got the pace. He's got a bit of trickery as well. Can put a
mm,
ball in the box, and he can play wing back as well. So he's very versatile.
yeah.
Fantastic player. A shame about Aguero though. Like
Oh,
against
mate.
Rangers, he just dives in like that, and then obviously, what do you expect? But it's a shame, really. We've got that Kerr in as well. Looks very good. I can't lie.
Yeah.
People have been calling him out against City, and I was like, listen, give the guy a break. He's both footed, can play full back, centre back in the midfield. Another
Mm.
versatile player, very good.
Sorry, do you mean about when he played against Brighton? You
Oh,
mean?
Brighton, sorry, yeah,
Yeah,
Brighton,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Sorry,
yeah.
yeah. I agree.
Yeah,
It would be harsh. I know he gave the penalty away. It was clumsy, but fair enough. I mean, he just stepped into the team. And, and as you say, from what I actually saw him, I thought he played really well. He looks
I thought he
a
played all
quality
right.
player. Looks really good. Yeah, I actually think you're right. I think the signs have been decent, and I think it's like it feels like a step up from what we're used to. Do you know what I mean? We're seeing sort of bigger names coming through, real sort of
Yeah,
proven
exactly,
quality players. So, and like you say, like you've hit the nail on the head. I've been saying it pretty much all summer as well that the players that we're replacing are better players. We are upgrading
exactly.
everywhere.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
not seen one player come in and thought, well, why have we done that? I mean, I dare I say it. I mean, even watching Diop last night, he had a
Oh,
nightmare.
I've
He
heard,
had an absolute
I've
nightmare.
heard. Yeah, no, I've heard. I went to Cambridge versus Southampton yesterday.
Yeah.
I live about half an hour out, so I was like, you know what? I'll go there. And I just see on Twitter last night Fulham fans wanting a refund for him. I was like, oh, what's he done now?
Yeah, it did make me laugh. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's a decent enough player, and I'm sure he did quite well there. But yeah, debut-wise, apparently, disastrous. And yeah, I spoke to a couple of Fulham fans; they weren't happy at all.
Tragic.
Yeah, quite amusing. So yeah, I mean, that's what you're saying. So, and also, you got players like Masuaku now has been replaced by Emerson. I mean, that's an immediate upgrade. I mean, I don't know about you, but I've not been a big fan of Masuaku just because
Well,
I don't rate his defending. You know what I mean?
you say that though, like he's gone to Besiktas, and his performances have actually been all right. I've been
Yeah,
seeing.
apparently so.
Can you believe
It's that kit, mate. It's this fucking kit. I don't know what it is.
it? No, it's mad. Listen, Mass Marco, like don't get me wrong, he can't defend, but going forward,
Yeah.
his skills in it. That's all. That's all he had. To be fair.
Mm.
But yeah, no, like he got rid of him. I know it's only a loan with an option to buy, I believe. But yeah, no, it's good that we got rid of him and Emerson as well coming in. Do you
Yeah.
reckon he goes in over Cresswell?
I kind of think he has to a little bit, to be honest. I mean, Creswell, I do rate him. He's been decent. His delivery's been fantastic, but we do
Oh
really
yeah, it's
lack
been
on that
unreal.
left side, don't we? Defending wise, we just seem to get exposed quite a lot.
Yeah,
I'd like to see him given a go, really. And he's quite pacey, Emerson, as well. He's quite powerful, and I quite like to see him get up and down the line. I would think that he'll come in for Creswell, but whether he'll come in immediately, let's be honest, we know David Moyes. You probably want to bed him in for about 2 or 3
yeah,
years before he's
exactly.
given before he's given a game. So, yeah, I know, but yeah, I would think so. Personally, I think he comes
Yeah,
in, but
yeah,
we'll see. In terms of further arrivals, then, I mean, obviously we're linked with quite a few players. There's some bids going in, and there's some big bit of business coming out today as well about
yeah.
Quetta. In terms of a bid, we've put in, and hopefully might be able to get moving with that one. We've got a week to go, Jamie. Who do you want to see come in realistically? Who do you really? Not saying who you want to see come in. Who do you actually think the club will bring in?
Well, it's a tough one. I mean, we do need a midfielder. So I'm seeing Conor Gallagher links and obviously Paqueta that was announced today. If we can get
Yeah,
one of them to
yeah,
play alongside Rice, I think that's fantastic.
yeah,
But
yeah.
is Paqueta sort of that defensive midfielder that we need? I'm not too
No,
sure. I know
I
I
think
think he's more
I
attacking,
don't
isn't he?
think he would fit that role. I think they'd need
Ah,
a midfielder because I think Paqueta would play behind he plays as the number 10
that's what I'm
role.
thinking. Yeah,
So that's what I think the situation would be. So I don't think he'd be coming in as a central midfielder. I think you're right. I think we need a central midfielder. Conor Gallagher for me would be the ultimate signing for that. Also,
yeah,
as well, bear in mind, if we're going to be keeping Declan Rice longer term, we need to be bringing in top draw players around him. He's going to need to see that. I don't want to keep criticising Thomas Tuchel. I had a rant about him the weekend, and I saw David X had a big rant about him.
yeah.
And I do feel a bit for him because he seems like such a lovely bloke, but he's been so poor, I think, in my opinion. I just think it's something we need to get sorted out now because our midfield's seriously lacking.
And the thing is with Suchek as well, it's not just been like a few months. Like it's even going back to like a year ago now. He just
Mm,
hasn't been great, has he? I know
yeah, I
he
know.
scored he scored a few goals here and there, but I just don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about him. Like we need that Suchek back that we got from the start.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't know
I
what's
don't
happened
get
to
it.
him.
I don't know whether the role's changed or I don't get, or he's just lacking confidence. I don't quite know what it is. I mean, I thought he played quite well in pre-season. I thought he looked all right. And I actually predicted, in my early season predictions, he'd be the most improved player this season. I thought he's going to go back to how his
Yeah,
first was and smash it. But he's been so poor. I mean, I thought Brighton, he was just atrociously bad. He just doesn't, he works hard, he runs around and that, but it's just, something really lacking there. I don't know what's going on with him, but it's something we need to get sorted. And I'm hoping that, like you, I think it'd be nice to see him, Conor Gallagher. He'd be my number one choice.
yeah,
Paqueta would be, icing on the cake, really. I think before the window closes, and hopefully we'll get another loan as well.
yeah.
Yeah, that'd be
I'm just
decent.
thinking like I'm looking at Wolves. Yeah, they've got a
Yeah,
Dharma Traore there, and he
mm.
just doesn't play anymore. So why not just a little loan or something? I'm thinking obviously he's got the physicality, the pace. The only thing is like his end product ain't the greatest, but you got him there, a bit of pace. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. Where would you play him though? Where would you want to see him fit in? Because he's had to.
That's the problem. That's the
We're a bit
problem.
overloaded, didn't we, with certain positions, didn't we?
I was just thinking like you could put him anywhere, like across the front four, even.
You
Do you
got to
know what I
see
mean?
him, didn't
Stick
you?
him
In
up
those
top.
fucking oiled up arms in the West Ham top.
Exactly.
Giving it,
How sick
giving
would
it,
that
It'd
be?
be great, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
Mate, we've got Aston Villa coming up on Sunday. Massive, massive game. What's your feelings on this Villa game? I mean, are you going into it with a bit optimistic? You think we're going to do it, or are you going into it with absolute
yeah.
fear and dread?
This is the thing. Like I've had a lot of Villa fans say to me, "Don't worry, you'll easily beat us. Like we've been shit." And I'm just like, "Well, look at us. Look at us as well. Then we're in the same boat." So
Mm,
I don't know. I think it's got a draw written all over it. I can't lie. But then
really? Yeah.
our previous results at Villa Park have been very good. To be fair, so if we're basing it on that,
Mm.
then you never know, mate. But we'll
So what do you
make it
reckon
hard
then,
for
Jamie? I'm
ourselves
going
this
to put you on
season.
the spot, mate. Before you go,
Go
I've got to put you on the spot. What's the score going to be on Sunday?
on, 2-1 to us.
You reckon? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I hate giving these predictions because I always cock it up massively. But I agree. I actually think we're going to win. I've got this feeling we're going to really roll our sleeves up and just go, right, that's it. Let's go and get a result. By hook or by crook, we've got to win that match. I'm going to go 3-1 West Ham. I just got this feeling we're going to put in a good
yeah.
performance and get it over the line.
It's got to be done now. It's got to be done.
Yeah, it has to be, doesn't it? It has to be done, mate. And will you be there, by the way? Are you going Villa Park?
Yeah, yeah. So I've got to head up back to Nottingham because from here I just can't get a train. So I've got to head up back there, stay
Yeah.
overnight, and then from there straight to New Street, and there I'll be there.
Nice one, mate. Nice one, mate. Well, I'll be in touch with you, mate, I'm sure. And yeah, fingers
Yeah.
crossed, mate, because we so need that result, don't we?
Oh, 100%, 100%. Kickstart our season. I know. I said it at Viborg. I said, "Oh yeah, we beat Viborg. It'll kickstart our season." Then we just lost to Brighton. But yeah, I think Sunday we'll win tomorrow and a win on Sunday. That's it, and
And
then
that's
we
it,
should
mate.
be
We're
good
back.
to
We're
go.
back in the Champions League world again.
Yeah,
We're back to
let's
back to
hope so.
back to, back to, back to normal. I like it, Jamie, mate. It's been an absolute pleasure as always. I'm sure we'll get
Yeah,
you back
thank
on
you.
again soon. And yeah, mate. Come on your irons. Hopefully we get a decent result this week and on Sunday.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Thanks for having me on again.
No worries, mate. You take care. Cheers, mate.